Hi, it's Counting Sheep, and it has been months since I've made a video. I have moved to the Pacific Northwest. I've got a one-year position here as a project manager. So I'm going to start talking quieter. I've got to remember how to do this. It's been a long time. And I am currently working on Bainbridge Island, so I'm very excited to be here. And I love the sea. I am just having so much fun walking down by the seashore, and I picked up some seashells and I've done some little fun things with them, so I thought that I would play with those tonight. And here's the first one. I like them because they have a nice texture. And I wanted to do a shout out to Susan, who's become a dear friend and a constant, and checks in on me every once in a while. And Adora Story is someone else that has become a friend through ASMR. And then I got a nice little message. I get really incredible messages from you guys, and know that I really appreciate them, and I haven't had time to respond to them. I haven't had internet for quite a while, but I got a message from a Sandra, I won't say her last name, and she just said some really nice things, and it reminded me of why I love to do this. So I got on the ball and got some things together. So here we go. Seashells. Pretty little scalloped edge. And I've got some interesting ones. Maybe I'll keep them out where you can see them. I've kind of played with planting. I went to a farmer's market. I'll hold this up where you can see it. I've got to get used to the camera being opposite again. But I found these cute little chicken and hens. So I'm using my shells as planters, and I've put them on a window ledge. And I've put candles inside of some of them. And then these little mini chicken and hens. And I thought, oh, that would be fun. And maybe get some little succulents too. But I think these will hopefully multiply. There's not a lot of soil there, so I've got to make sure I keep them wet. The way that I'm finding, it's interesting that this shell has scalloped edges, and this one does not. This one's smooth, so they're probably different kinds of oysters. I don't know a lot about the sea because I didn't grow up by the sea, so some of you probably know a lot more than I do. I'm going to turn my mic here. And then I started with this, putting little tea candles in them. And of course, seashells are so beautiful, and they're all unique. And you just feel these age lines in them. It's just incredible. But I put little candles on them and put them in the windowsill, lined it up, and they were so beautiful. I lit them the other night, and there was this warm glow that came from them. Maybe I'll play with that some night. Yeah, maybe I'll light the candles some night. Oh, that has a nice sound to it. I found these little teeny tea candles. They're even smaller than regular tea candles at the dollar store. Okay, there's another seashell. And I've got a couple of these. I don't know what these are on them, barnacles, but it almost looks like a woman's bonnet with flowers on it to me. I'm fascinated by it. So there we are. I'll tap on that a little bit and let you look at it. I think there's some inside as well. Yeah, look at that. Kind of life made its way inside of that shell, so it makes it feel a little bit older. Alright, there's that shell. And I've got another one that has the scalloped edges and a cute little, hen and chicks in it. It's so funny that it's hard to remember how to use the camera again. Here we go. Got 3 in here. This beautiful edge. Not getting a lot of noise out of that though. There's so many wonderful places to visit out here. I've been to, just on the island there are some great little ports to visit, but off the island there's a town called Paulsbo that's got a lot of Norwegian influence, and I'd love to go visit there. They've got a little shop where you can make mosaics, and I really want to do that in a month or two. I'm figuring that's good cold weather thing to do. I want to get out to the sea and enjoy this warm weather as long as it lasts. Unfortunately, they've had a pretty bad drought, and so did Oregon. You know, I was in Oregon last year. So this poor planet is burning up. And we've got to do what we can to protect things. Nice little shell. Hopefully you can hear the texture on that one. Beautiful inside. It's nighttime, so the lights above might be a little harsh, casting a lot of shadow. Hopefully you can see things all right. Last year, many of you know I rented a room with a roommate, and this year I'm renting my own space, and it's nice to have the change. It was nice to have company. It's also nice to have the kitchen to myself and to make what I want when I want, and to have all the ingredients handy. It's a nice sized kitchen, so I'm enjoying that. And I'm loving hanging out by the sea. They're not sandy beaches here where you lie around, you know, it's more volcanic rock and sand. It's still beautiful. It's incredibly beautiful, in fact. But it's, so far I haven't been on a beach that's a lie-around beach, but my gosh, they're gorgeous. All right, then I've got another kind of chicken and hen. I think there's a more formal name for them, but it's just a cute little guy. They're miniatures. And I think it would be fun to collect different types of just this type of plant, different species, see how different they each look. I did this one in the smooth white shell. And I water them with, it's really hard to water it because I've got so much soil in it. Well, there's not a lot of soil, but there's a lot of soil for the shell. But the plant needs it to keep the roots from being too shallow. So anyway, the trick I found for watering it is to get a paper towel wet and then to squeeze the paper towel over the shell and over the plant. And then it just kind of dribbles it in and it doesn't get all over. But so far everything else I've tried gets everywhere. I think a little eyedropper would work, but I don't have one, so there you go. All right, last shell is my favorite. It's still, let me turn this a little bit and I'll hold it over here. It's still got a lot of sand in it. I washed some of it, but then I looked closely and I saw, oh, those are some of those tiny little barnacles. That's not all sand, so I didn't want to scrub it all off. And the dark, again, lets you see the texture a lot more. I think it's stunning. Again, it just looks like a woman's bonnet covered with flowers. And you know, when I do landscape design, I'll often do it in these ribbons as well. I like to have ribbons of color. And this is just such a beautiful example of how nature does that naturally. And in such a beautiful way, so much more beautiful than I could do it. I found a nice yoga center because I had a meditation group that I went to regularly in Oregon. And I took dance classes. I did so many wonderful things, and I haven't found all of those things here, but I missed. It was a tiny little community, but I got attached to some of the people in my meditation group, so I haven't missed them, and it's been nice to be here and find a new place to go where there are sound meditation classes and yoga classes, and I'm just starting to get back into that whole energy again, and I love it. It's very different than what I do during the day. I'm not getting a lot of sound out of this, so I hope that it's relaxing, at least visually. Just kind of amazing that there was life in here. There's one beach that I go to that has Dungeness crab shells. Just the shells. I guess there's a lot of Dungeness that grow out on the spits out here. And there's this one beach that I like to go to that has just every 20 feet or so there'll be an empty crab shell, and I don't know if it's because it's been eaten by creatures or if somebody has fished them out or something. I'm not sure. I suspect the innards have been eaten out, but it's something to see. They're pretty. I took lots of pictures of the sea, and because most of my stuff's in storage back home, I made a little wall art thing with stringing some jute, and then hanging pictures that I took by the sea, and then I put little seashells over the tacks at the end, and it kind of turned out all right. Maybe I'll show you those one night. I always think I'll do all these things, but there's never enough time to do all of the ASMR videos that I dream of, and certainly there's not enough to do all of the ones you guys dream of. You send me lots of things you would like, and I wish I could do them. I would have to make a video every day and have no job to do that, so I can't make that happen. All right, that's it. Those are my little sea treasures. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I've missed you all, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Good to see you again.